Yo, what's up? It's your boy coming to you with another episode of Director's Talk. And man, it's been an incredible month of filming, editing, going to locations outside of California or far out in California. It's been a wonderful ride working on this sequel to What Have I Done, which is entitled I've Done It Again. And from a director standpoint, man, this is what we live to do. If I can do this full time and get paid for it, trust me, quit my job tomorrow. But it's a special kind of love you gotta have, special kind of dedication. It's not easy to make a film. It's not easy always working with people. It's not easy working with productions and all types of things. But if you have a love for it, it's in your fortitude and it will show in your work. And man, let me tell you, the film is 85% done. So later on this summer, I'll be shooting the last couple of scenes and it will be a wrap. And then probably in September, maybe about 10 or so YouTubers and press members will get a copy of the film. They'll be able to view it early, do early reviews. They'll be the first ones to actually talk about it on social media. And then of course in October near Halloween, the movie will drop. But I had so many great behind the scenes stories, man, because now that the cat's out of the bag, I made announcements. I've released posters and stills of the film. Lovely from Lovely Movie Reviews is in the film. My man Cyrus Alexander, who played my father in the last film, is in this film again, reprising his role. And my two favorite ladies in the world of social media, Geek Ass Chat, is in this movie. Shirley and also Christy from Geek Ass Chat is in this film. And to work with people you've been knowing for years, to come to fruition through the YouTube and social media verse, it's quite magical, man. It's cool because, you've been friends for so many years and you only talk on the phone or through social media, but the meet in person is a different thing. And I knew a long time ago, my first ever interview as a director was conducted by Geek Ass Chat. And that was when my film, The Comforter, came out. And we were talking and laughing. I said, you know what? One day I'm gonna come to New York and we're gonna work together. They're like, yeah, we love to be extras. We're not actresses or anything, but we love to be extras because they've been in extras in films before. And like 3 years later, it happened. I actually went to New York for the first time as a viewer of the East Coast, man. It was great. And I went there as a director and worked with Geek Ass Chat. And it was pretty intense because their scenes are intense. Even though they're extras, they have major roles in the scene that was conducted, man. Here I am, a tourist, a director, and a friend all in the same spot. And to make it even better, my homeboy, Cyrus Alexander, who I met around the same time I met Geek Ass Chat years ago. We've been friends over the internet. And he's like, yo, man, I live in Massachusetts. I'm gonna catch a flight. I'm gonna meet you in New York and we gonna kick it. And it happened to be my birthday, the first day I was there. So me and Christy are hanging out. She's showing me the town and I'm loving every moment. My boy got there late on that night. We celebrated. We watched the Laker game together. We're both huge Laker fans. And to share that together was cool, man. But the weather was challenging. It was raining the whole time I was there. Luckily, everything that we shot was inside. I rented an Airbnb apartment. And, New York, you don't have a whole lot of landscape to navigate when you build buildings. So this apartment was smaller than I imagined. They take pictures, make it look like it's bigger than it really is. And you get there in person, you're like, what? It's 4 walls. but I made it work. And one of the challenges of a director, man, sometimes you get to your location and it's not what you thought. You can't panic. You have to remain under control because you have a group of people looking at you, following your lead to make sure everything turns out right. Well, the apartment was gorgeous. It was just small. So I was like, okay, I envision a bedroom, a living room, kitchen. Well, it's like a studio. There's a kitchen, big ass living room, and everything's there. You have a futon, a wall, TV mounted up here. So I'm like, wow, how can I make this work? And it took a couple hours to sit there and you do the whole thing and you just watch and you try to frame everything. I'm like, okay, so I'll be prepared because the very next day was the big day of shooting. I shot a major scene with Cyrus, who plays my father. And I released some still photos from the film and they were so crisp, they became posters. And I released them on Instagram and also YouTube, Facebook, and also Twitter. And people are loving it. And these people, not only talented, but they're just naturally beautiful people inside and out. Cyrus, big hulking man, smooth dude, handsome guy. And he's exactly what I wanted to play my father, you know? Like, okay, if I'm a bad motherfucker, then my daddy got to be even a badder motherfucker, right? Well, that's what he is in this movie. You know, he's a bad motherfucker, you know, like the wallet in Pulp Fiction. And I wanted to work with Christy from the first time I seen her on YouTube. I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. And the one thing about being yourself, you look in the mirror every day, you see yourself from one point of view. And when you're making YouTube videos, this is what you look like. Well, until you're in person and you see everybody's curvature of their face and everything, I just knew she had a Hollywood look. I even told her that in one of our interviews. I said, no, you have that Hollywood look. I can see you doing a silent black and white film or something like that. Just with her face and emoting with her eyes, she can pull it off. And man, let me tell you, 3 years later, it worked. I mean, just having her on screen, her screen presence is magnificent. I'm gonna tell you this too. There's a still of her that I released and made a poster. And she's sitting on a futon and she's kind of turning back, looking behind her. When I seen that, I immediately text my homeboy Cyrus, man, look at this photo. And he said, wow, man, that's beautiful. I said, man, you heard it here first. I think this photo will become iconic for my film. Like, there's iconic scenes of Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock, and you see stills of it. Like, yeah, I remember that scene in the shower. I remember that scene of Norman Bates standing in a stairway or either, you know, the hallway. They're iconic pictures. And I believe that picture of Christy will become iconic when related and talked about this film. She has, like I said, a Hollywood look and timeless. You know, old school black and white silent films. She can just pull it off with her face expressions. I was happy to have her. And her sister Shirley is just comic relief. She had me dying. Her personality is the exact same it was on YouTube. And has like the perfect skin. Her skin is flawless. And to put her in the right light and the scenes that she's in, mwah, two beautiful people to work with inside and out, and they pulled it off. Made my film that much better because the funny thing is, New York in the beginning when I wrote the script had nothing to do with this film. Nothing. This was a plus, you know, and Cyrus was only supposed to be filmed here in Sacramento later on this summer. Well, what happened? I did an interview with Geek-Ass Chat for What Have I Done? And by this time, we know each other well. We goof around, we laugh, we talk. And I told Christy, you know, because of her structure and how she looked, I said, we should do something together. And we'll do it next year, which is this year. I said, let's do a documentary about being Puerto Rican, living in New York, and the just trials and tribulations you go through as a woman in this big city and all the beautiful things that go on in this big city. Well, it so-called happens that I sent her the script to see if she liked it, and she seen some dailies and was like, kind of blown away. I said, I tell you what, if I'm coming to New York this year and our time frame was small because they work, they got things they got to deal with. My schedule is like hectic. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be there for 3 days, 2 nights. And me and Christy talked about it. Why don't we put off doing the documentary maybe a year from now, because she's working on her first project, her first directorial debut on her movie that she's working on, casting and everything. I'm like, why don't you guys play a small role in my film when I come to New York? Come by the apartment. The apartment is the set. I'll film you guys the scenes. And that's what happened. This was not part of the film. Now, it was written in there. What happens was in the film, but not in the location. And I was gonna probably pull out some different actors or actresses for this role. And it worked out perfectly. I added it to the script. And New York in this film takes on a whole different meaning. It gave my film grandeur, scale. I mean, I shot on the boulevard right there on Times Square. And you talking about a wide shot of everything. It's incredible. And the sound design, what the sound you hear in New York is the actual sound of the people walking, talking, cars beeping their horns, engines roaring by. That is not studio sound. That is the actual sound from New York. I happened to capture that with a great microphone, and man, it was to die for. It was so good that I'm gonna scale back and chop off some of the scenes that I had scheduled for the third act. For one thing, this movie, my budget was $5,000. And that money goes quickly. When I went to Bakersfield, I rented out an entire house. 3-bedroom, pool, big backyard, place was gorgeous. Not cheap. Rented it out for 2 days, 2 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights. And that cut into the budget. And when you work with me, whether you are a cast member or help on the side, whatever, I take care of my people, man. You eat well, whatever you want to go out and kick it, because in Bakersfield, Lovely's like, hey, I got a babysitter. Let's shoot these scenes. Let's go to the club and go dancing. And we did. Charles was like our bodyguard. We had an Uber driver. He was like our Uber driver. We went to this club, and if you don't know my background, I love to dance. And I can dance all night. And in future interviews, we'll talk to Lovely. I couldn't get off the dance floor. She said, boy, you danced me to death. And we had a great time. That's what it's all about, man. And food at your disposal. What do you want to get? Your boy got you. And if you treat your cast well, it shows behind the scenes and it shows in the actual film. They give their all, because let me tell you, in New York, Geek-Ass Chat had a lot going on. So their time frame was small and they were dead but tight. They came over there like, hey, TJ, we had a long desk. Ladies, don't worry about it. I'm gonna make it quick, simple, and easy. I kept my word. I didn't keep them girls there long at all. And we got through a lot of scenes. There was a lot to do, but because I knew my storyboard up here, I knew the shots I wanted. The only time I had to wait, I was adjusting the lighting, because this movie has a lot of trickery with lighting to make it look timeless, And whenever I can use natural lighting, I do. But when you have to play around and make something seem darker or lighter than it really is, that's the only time it took a little bit of time, was placing lights strategically throughout the apartment to get the effect that I wanted. And let me tell you, the light, when it shines on Shirley's face, you wouldn't see what I'm talking about. Her skin is flawless. She's beautiful. And Christy, she reminds me of a damsel in distress from the 1960s movies, black and white joints. I mean, her eyes and everything is just perfect for what I was looking for. And so, man, I'm back in Sacramento. I've been editing for like 2 weeks straight. I haven't been to the cinema since March. I've kind of took a break from movie reviews. Anything that I drop right now would be just original content. But June is going to be a big month, so I'll be going back to the cinema. May, I'm cool. I did not want to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I can wait to Disney Plus. I'm a little superhero fatigued, but I am looking forward to The Flash. I guess the Little Mermaid and stuff comes out. I can pass on all of those. Fast 10, Fast X, whatever you want to call it. I will check that out because I'm a muscle car head. I will check that out. Then the month of June, each week you got blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster. So I will get back to my movie reviews and things like that come June. But in the meantime, man, this journey has been great. It is not over. I wish it could last forever. Living in this moment is what a director's dream is. I found some wonderful talent. I work with some wonderful friends, and you get to see a side of people that you know on YouTube. You will see them through a different lens because your boy, Mr. Blacktastic, caught them and their essence in a way that's never been seen before on YouTube or social media. I can't wait to bring it to you. So, hey, in the meantime, stay well, treat the ones you love great. When you meet strangers on the street, be kind and say hi. You might save a life, you never know. You know how it is, how I get down. Until the next time, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, and more importantly, leave your comments down low. And I'm out. Peace. You know the routine. Fade to black.